He had thousands of visitors as he was slowly dying. He had finally gone into a coma. There was a priest that gave him his last rites. He was, for the most part, considered at the last hour of his death. Unconscious in a coma, he was visited by his guardian angel. And the guardian angel told Dr. Nietzsche to begin to pray the rosary and ask for Maximilian Kolbe's intercession. The thing that makes this a mystery is he did not know that Maximilian Kolbe was dead, because the Germans had cut off all communications throughout Europe. He had no idea. His friend, the Franciscan priest in Nagasaki, did not know that Maximilian Kolbe had been killed on the feast of the Assumption of Mary. So he immediately is cured on the spot of all of the radiation from the bomb and the explosion. He did, however, later on develop he brought the X-ray radiation to Japan. At that time, they would not wear the lead vest to protect them from the radiation, so they did everything unexposed. He did develop cancer and eventually died from that cancer of the X-rays, but not the bomb. With nothing left, they built these little huts. They're called nyokotos. They just would get as much material as they could find that was left around and build these little huts, and they called them nyokotos. Nyokoto means to love your enemy as yourself houses. That's what that word means. He had thousands of visitors, and he began to bring peace and harmony and love and forgiveness to Nagasaki. So people were flocking to come see this guy that had survived this bomb. Pius XII had actually brought him this statue. This is Our Lady of Fatima. And you see him, he's here with his two little children, daily praying the rosary, fulfilling the Fatima message. Helen Keller visited him and spoke by touching. They communicated by holding each other's hands and talking with their hands. And she asked him point blank, do you have any sorrow, any hatred towards the Americans, towards the Great Britain, for the damage that they have caused? And this was his response. I know in my spirit that I have experienced Calvary in the Mass. You know what I miss more than anything else as I lie here immobile here in Nyokoto, attending Mass with Midori, which was his wife, and my children. At times I am filled with nostalgia for the days when I could drop into the cathedral for a talk with Christ really present in the tabernacle. So now Nagasaki has become known as the city of peace, the city of the Immaculate, and the city of the Fatima Apparitions. And right here is this is the memorial of the 26 martyrs, that the Franciscans and Jesuit priests that were killed back in the 16th century. And here is the cathedral has been rebuilt, and here is the remains of the original cathedral right outside Ground Zero. So the Assumption Cathedral today, here she is rebuilt, and here in their museum is a replica of Fat Man, the bomb drop on Nagasaki. And again, there were 12,000 total Catholics in Nagasaki at the time of 1945, and in Nagasaki today there are 80,000. Hubako no Maria is Japanese for the bombed Mary. This Trappist monk, Father Keimon Noguchi, was from Nagasaki, but he was not in Nagasaki when the bomb dropped. A year after the bombing, after they felt like the radiation had cleared from Nagasaki, he goes over to visit where he was born and raised, and goes to the remains of where the cathedral was destroyed. As he was kicking around the ashes, his foot nudged up what he thought was a stone in the ground, and he dug it up, and it was the head of our Blessed Mother, of the statue of the Assumption of Mary that was in the cathedral just above the altar. He takes that head of Mary, takes it back to his monastery. For 35 years, he puts it above his bed and he prays the rosary every day in front of that statue head. After 35 years, he had realized that this was not right for him to have this possession. He felt that this belonged to the city and the church of Nagasaki. So in 1975, he returned it back to the church, and they built, if you go there today, you go on, there's a chapel dedicated